When I was a child, people often said, "You're different." Maybe I was. I didn't play much. I loved books. I was obsessed with computers. And I made friends with dreams. Looking back, every hardship, every failure, and every sleepless night, they weren't my enemies. They were my teachers. I'm Elon Musk. And today, I want to share the parts of my journey that no headlines ever captured. Not the glamorous moments, but the silent battles. This is a story of rising from the ashes, of turning pain into power, and turning impossible into reality. A story of a boy who dared to believe when no one else did. Have you ever felt the whole world saying, "You can't do it," while your heart whispered, "You must"? I've heard every no meant to break me. Bullied in school, mocked for my ideas, lonely, rejected. But one thing never broke, my dream. I've launched rockets that failed 3 times in a row, built cars people laughed at, started companies that bled money, and still I didn't quit. Why? Because I believe, as long as you haven't given up, you're still in the game. And when your mission is greater than money, when it's about humanity's future, then the path isn't easy, but it's worth it. What I am today is not because I never failed, but because I never stopped trying. So let me walk you through my life, not to impress you, but to remind you that even broken beginnings can lead to incredible destinies. I was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. I wasn't the loudest kid or the most social. I was different. After my parents divorced, I lived with my father. I was often bullied at school. Beaten so badly once I was hospitalized. But I found refuge in computers and books. At 9, I taught myself programming. At 12, I sold my first video game, Blaster. While other kids partied, I read physics and built imaginary machines. I wasn't dreaming small, I was planning my escape from limitations. At 16, I decided I had to get to America, not just to live there, but because that's where the future was being built. I moved through Canada first, worked odd jobs, cleaning boilers, selling soda, just to pay college fees. Eventually, I landed at the University of Pennsylvania and studied physics and economics. But the moment I saw the internet's rise, I knew books weren't enough anymore. I dropped out of Stanford just 2 days in, because it was time to build, not just learn. It wasn't easy, but if you're obsessed with your mission, the world can't stop you. When I came to America, I had one goal: build something big. I enrolled at Stanford for a PhD, but dropped out after just 2 days. Why? Because the internet was exploding, and I couldn't stand on the sidelines. In 1995, I started a company called Zip2 with my brother Kimball. We worked out of a tiny office, no bed, no luxury. I used to sleep on the floor. We showered at the YMCA and lived on cheap meals, but we had vision. Zip2 helped local businesses create a presence online, which was revolutionary at the time. Investors didn't get it. We got rejected over and over. Still, I kept coding, pitching, dreaming. Eventually, Compaq acquired Zip2 for $307 million. I walked away with $22 million, my first big break, but I didn't stop. I started X.com, an online banking platform that later became PayPal. It was messy, there were internal fights. Competition was brutal, but we pushed forward. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. I got about $180 million from the deal. Most people thought, now he'll retire. But for me, that was just the foundation. Because I didn't want a life of comfort, I wanted a life of purpose. When I joined Tesla, people thought I'd lost my mind. Electric cars will never work, they said. No one wants them. But I wasn't listening to doubters. I was focused on the future, a cleaner earth, a new way of thinking. Building the first Tesla, the Roadster, was chaos. We ran into manufacturing hell. Parts failed, budgets exploded, investors panicked. The media mocked us. I had a choice, walk away or double down. I chose to put every last dollar I had into Tesla and SpaceX. There were nights I didn't know how I'd pay rent. People called me reckless. Maybe I was. but in 2012, we launched the Model S, not just an electric car, but a revolution. Fast, smart, beautiful. The world couldn't ignore it anymore. Tesla became a symbol, not of luxury, but of vision, of daring to dream differently. Today, when I see Teslas on the road, I remember it almost didn't happen. Sometimes you have to risk everything to build something that matters. As a kid, I stared at the stars and asked, why aren't we there yet? After PayPal, I finally had the chance to do something about it. So I started SpaceX with one impossible mission: make humans a multi-planet species. Everyone laughed. He's a dot-com guy. He can't build rockets. Our first 3 launches failed. Millions of dollars gone. People started walking away. We had money for one last rocket. If that failed, everything I had built would collapse. That launch, the 4th one, it succeeded. We reached orbit. NASA gave us a $1.6 billion contract. That changed everything. Today, SpaceX is launching satellites, astronauts, reusable rockets. We're building Starship, a vehicle designed to take humans to Mars. This isn't science fiction. This is real. SpaceX isn't just a space company. It's a statement that we're not meant to stay on one planet forever. We're explorers, and I won't rest until we've reached the stars. People ask me all the time, Elon, why keep going? You've already made it. But I didn't start all this to get rich. I started because I saw what's possible, and I couldn't look away. Tesla isn't just about cars, it's about stopping climate change. SpaceX isn't just about rockets, it's about giving humanity a backup plan. Neuralink isn't just about tech, it's about merging humans with AI to stay relevant in the future. Every company I build has one purpose: to push humanity forward. I want to die knowing I gave everything to create a better future. Not just for me, but for every child yet to be born. Yes, I'm scared sometimes, yes, I fail. But fear isn't a reason to stop, it's a reason to keep going. If we don't try the impossible, we'll never know what we're truly capable of. So I keep dreaming. I keep building. And maybe, just maybe, I'm a little crazy. But sometimes, it's the crazy ones who change the world.
This video teaches us that the price of a dream isn't just hard work. It's courage, relentless grit, and the strength to rise every time you fall. Elon Musk's story proves that no matter how ordinary you are, if there's fire within you, you can become something extraordinary. It shows us that failure is not the end, it's the beginning. When the world misunderstands you, self-belief becomes your greatest power. Money matters. Money, but purpose matters more. The line between passion and madness is blurred only by those who make history. And most importantly, to change the world, you must first change yourself. Elon Musk's journey reminds us that when your mission serves humanity, every wound becomes your fuel. This isn't just a story, it's a wake-up call. Don't stop, don't settle, because you too are capable of greatness.